Okay, so yeah, without further ado, let's begin our lesson for this morning. So basically, today we're going to explore the different literatures from Indonesia, Vietnam, mm, what else? Japan and Korea. And yeah, but let's start with defining the development of Japanese literature from the beginning up to the modern period. Okay, so yeah. But first, let's identify the learning objectives of this lesson. So at the end of this lesson, you as a student, you must be able to understand the history, yeah, as well as the developmental, historical development of Japanese literature and its key periods, recognize significant literature, literary works, and authors from each period, analyze the importance of cultural and religious influences on literature, explore various literature and literary genre, its forms, including poetry and drama, evaluate common themes and motifs in literature and their cultural significance. Now, let's start with the ancient literature in the period of Japanese. So, ano bang meron nung mga panahon na yun? Well, sa ancient period, they didn't have their own writing system during that time. Ibig sabihin, wala silang writing system, wala silang ginagamit. And so, actually, ito yung ano, yung ancient Japanese use Yamato Kotoba. Yamato Kotoba, Tagalog na Tagalog, Yamato Kotoba. Ayan. So, yun yung ginagamit nila ng mga ancient Japanese before. Pero yun nga, since they don't have their own writing system, they use yung kanji. Yung kanji as in Kanji, which they borrowed from Chinese with a combination of hiragana and katakana. Yun yung mga ginamit nila before. So, yung kanji, since na yun yung ginagamit nila dati na parang um, ways way para makapagsulat sila ng literature, ngayon, may iba't ibang pamaraan on how to read kanji. First, yung kunyomi. Yung kunyomi ay kun, K-U-N, tas yomi, Y-O-M-I. Yung pagbasa nun ay Japanese way. Tapos, yun naman onyomi, O-N, as in yomi, may dash siya, on, dash, yomi. Yun naman ay Chinese way ng pagbasa ng kanji. Again, before, they don't have their own writing system. And so they borrowed the writing system of Chinese na tinatawag na kanji. Okay? Yung kanji ay may dalawang basihan sa pagbasa. Una, yung konyomi na sa pamamaraan ng Japanese, and then yung onyomi naman in Chinese way. So right now, itong kanji na to, I mean, yung Japanese language nila right now is just like a combination of kanji and yung hiragana and katakana. Yun yung tatlo na combination ng ginagamit nila. Kasi parang nanghiram nga naman sila sa Chinese. Ano? Chinese characters were further adapted during that time. Their earliest works were created in the Nara period. Dito sa Nara period na to, Nara period was a time in Japanese history from about year 700 AD to 784 AD. Okay? So yung Konjiki, ayan, kung makikita natin meron tayong Konjiki dyan and Nihon, Shoki are examples of works during the Nara period. Yan ay ilan lamang sa examples, no? Pero yung Konjiki, I want you to remember this one, that Konjiki is basically a record of ancient matters during that time. Ancient matters. Record yan ng mga ancient matters about them. And then yung Nihon naman, Nihon Shoki ay Chronicles of Japan. So if you want to learn more about Japan, yeah, those two masterpieces can help you to, understand the works during the Nara period. Okay? So example naman na again ay Urashima. Taro has been identified as the earliest example of a story involving the time travel. So yeah, it talks about a time travel na Urashima. Okay? For a while. Yeah. Urashima Taro. Let me check yung story na yun. Nakalimutan ko yung story. Pero parang, saan yun? Urashima Taro. Ayun, naalala ko na. Fairy tale, modern fisherman, rewarded. Naalala ko na siya. So itong Urashi na ito ay isang Japanese legend tungkol sa fisherman o yung mga mangingisda na iniligtas niya yung isang turtle and binigyan siya ng reward. Yung reward na yon is to visit the palace of the dragon god. So yun yung storya na yun. Kaya ang description dito, as you can see sa PowerPoint presentation na nakalagay, story involving the time travel. Kasi during that time, ayan, dun sa story na yan, kailangan niyang mag-time travel and at the same time, i-rescue yung turtle wherein nabigyan siya ng reward na makabisit dun sa palace ng Dragon God. So, napakalaking, remember, no? Parang ano siya, napakalaking privilege na makapunta ka dun sa palace na yon. Kaya siguro yun yung binigay na reward sa kanya dun sa fisherman. Next one. Ayan. Ito naman classical literature, as you notice, nag-start to noong 794 to 1185. Ayan. Generally, refers to literature produced during the Heian period, the golden era of art and literature. Another thing, yung Kenji Monogatari or The Tale of Genji. Ayan, napakasikat nitong The Tale of Genji na to. The Tale of Genji by Murasaki Shikibu. Ayan. Yung masterpiece na yan ay sinulat nga niya. And not only that, written at the start of 11th century. Actually, it is generally considered as the world's first novel. Again, world's first novel ang ating The Tale of Genji. Nalabas yan sa LET. Okay? The Tale of Genji. Considered as the world's first novel. Okay, naisulatan dyan. Yes. Okay, so next one ay yun namang The Pillow Book. Yung The Pillow Book naman by Sei Shonagon is an example of literary work during this period. It's basically a collection. Ito naman ay collection of anecdotes, lists, and assorted writings that is one of the best sources of information concerning about the society. Again, collection lang siya ng mga anecdotes, list, and assorted writings na, it talks about their society during that time. Next one ay yung Zen. Ayan, sa medieval period naman tayo. Sa medieval period naman, yung Zen Buddhism had a great influence. Pag sinabing influence, na influensyahan sila, di ba? Based on their, ways of life and maybe in their literary works. Many of the writers were priests, travelers during that time. Kasi 'di ba, pag sinabi nating Zen, basically yan yung Zen teaches that enlightenment is achieved through profound realization that one is already an enlightened being. Yun yung mga paniniwala ng mga Zen. Ayan. So that's why yung many of the writers during that time ay mga priests. Ano ba yung mga priests, Angela? Ito ay mga
Holy, holy, I mean, in like their culture po.
priests. Ano yung priest sa Tagalog?
Pare.
Priests, tsaka mga travelers, ayan. Kaya kung mapansin mo, during that time, yung mga usually sila yung mga writers na sumusulat ngayon. Kasi as you notice, yung mga Zen nga na, Zen, di ba? They teaches or they taught what? Enlightenment. enlightenment through a proper realization ng isang tao. Next one is yung The Tale of Heike. The Tale of Heike ay sinulat noong 1371. It's basically an epic of the war for sovereignty of the Japan. Again, epic of the war for sovereignty of Japan between the Minato and Taira clans. Yun yung, kaya mapapansin ninyo class, yung mga literary works dati, parang it signifies something. Yun nangyari ng mga panahon na yun at kung paano ito naging mahalaga in today's day and age. Kagaya nung The Tale of Genji. O, di ba? So, yeah, one of the first world literature na novel. Ayun. So, yung next naman, Hojoki naman ay nung 1212 by Komono Chomai and Sure Goza by Yoshida Kenko are the two important tales from the period noong 1331 naman. Rega, ito pamilya naman sa Rega.
No.
Yung Renga, it's a link verse and no theater were also popular at this time, no. Meaning, link poem began over 700 years ago in Japan to encourage, collaborative composition of poems. Yan yung Renga na tinatawag. Next one, the Philippine tuloy. The literature, the, the early modern literature. So the early modern literature, first, the literature of this period was written during the Tokugawa period, which was characterized by the Edo period. So later, pag-aralan natin yan. Chikamatsu, Monsimon, Ajururi, and Kabuki dramatists rose to prominence around the end of the 17th century. Ito namang Okuno Hosomichi noong 1702. It's basically a travel diary na sinulat ni Matsuo Basho. Kilala si Matsuo Basho?
Yes.
So yan, isa yan sa sinulat ni Matsuo Basho. It's a travel diary. In addition, yan, meron pa siyang mga iba't ibang naisulat pa na i-explore natin later. Post-war literature, The Setting Sun is a novel by Dazai Osamu about a soldier naman ito, tungkol sa soldier returning from Manchukuo or Manchukuo. Yun yung tungkol sa soldier lang. Papunta lang sa kanyang bayan. Or I mean sa Manchukuo. Another thing, itong si Yukio Mishima began writing in the post-war period. The American School naman, it's basically a short tale by Kojima Nobuo. So ano ba itong American School na ito na isinulat ni Nobuo? Well, ito ay nagpapakita o naglalarawan ng grupo ng Japanese English teachers. Okay. Ito ay tungkol or nagpapakita sa grupo ng mga Japanese English teachers. Isang storya. Next, proceed naman tayo sa Japanese drama. So sa Japanese drama naman class, as we know, drama, it involves what? Emotion or feelings, facial expressions, stage presence, something like that. Let's talk about that. Sa kanila, sa drama nila, meron silang tinatawag class na no play. Ano ba yung no play na yan? Let's identify muna. Yung no, from term itself, N-O-H, its name derived from no meaning talent or skills. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin ng no ay talent or skills. Okay? So, the National Theater of Japan, which was originally reserved for nobility. Legend says that the no dance was invented by God. Oh, wow. Meron pala silang ganong no? Thinking na, yeah, no, dance was invented by God. Next one, jururi play naman. Ito meron pa silang jururi play pa when it comes to drama. Ito naman, it is also known as bunraku play. Okay? Bunraku, B-U-N-R-A-Q-K-U. Bunraku play. Kilala siya sa tawag na Bunraku play. So yung Bunraku play is the one of the Japan's traditional puppet theaters. So yeah, yung puppet alam naman natin na wala itong buhay. Kumbaga ginagamit lang ito just to entertain others. Often called Ningo Jururi. Ayan. A puppet play or a doll theater where the dolls are beautifully made and like in size. Ayan. So ito naman, yan, a puppet play. Ayan, tama naman. Nakalagay naman siya. So another thing, this is, one of the Japanese black strings instrument. Yung ating na-discuss dito ng mga puppet. Ayan, jururi. Next one, kabuki. Kabuki naman ay isang uri rin ng play. It is basically performed in extravagant costumes and stylish movements. Grabe, no? Talagang makikita mo sa mga mukha nila. May purpose pala. Kabuki ang tawag dyan. Familiar, nakikita yung mga mukha nila.
Yes.
Kabuki ang tawag sa play na yan. The play is performed with extravagant costumes. Kabuki actors use exaggerated facial expressions. Kung makikita niyo sa makeup nila, makeup pala, exaggerated na. And then, facial expressions to convey such emotions. Life and culture are common themes in this kabuki play. Okay? Life and culture. Usually, yan yung ginagamit nila dito sa uri ng play na ito. Next one. Let's identify the famous Japanese writers. As we know, familiar talaga tayo kay Matsuo Basho, at iba't iba pang mga authors during that time. Pero let's identify pa rin yung mga sikat talaga. First and foremost ay si Murasaki Shikibu. So si Murasaki Shikibu naman was a noblewoman and lady in waiting at the inns of the court. She is the author of the Genji Monogatari or the Tale of Genji, a classical of Japanese literature that depicts court life. So, ayan, na-discuss natin kanina. Ayan, sikat na sikat siya dahil siya ang sumulat ng isang novel, The Tale of Genji, si Murakami Shikibu. At siya ay kilala rin dahil bukod na siya ang nakapagsulat ng The Tale of Genji, siya ay isang babae. Okay? Isa siyang babae na nakapagsulat ng na nakapag-contribute pagdating sa literatura ng Japanese, ng Japan. Next naman, ito, kilalang kilala natin, si Matsuo Basho. Walang picture ha, kasi napupuyat ako kagabi pagkagawa ng PowerPoint. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, ang dami kong pinaggagawa. PowerPoint, ang hirap magawa. Wala nga rin design ako nalagay, so forgive me. Next time, I'll, utilize my time creating PowerPoint presentations. But you know why? PowerPoint design is not necessary anymore. What matters most is the explanation and the content given by your teacher. Always remember that. But again, since you are a college student, I don't think so if design really matters. What matters nga kapag may mga design tayong tinatawag is for junior high school and senior high school students who are more inclined to learn if they see something relevant, something na maganda sa kanilang mga mata. Please. Ayan. So next one, is yung kay Matsuo Basho. As we know, si Matsuo Basho, kilala siya saan? Sa paggawa ng haiku, di ba? He is best known for developing haiku poetry, encapsulating deep meaning with minimalist expression. Ayan. So, yeah. Oku no Hosomichi, The Narrow Road to the Deep North, isa rin yan sa sinulat niya, is one of his famous work. Isa to sa mga famous na naisulat niya. Bukod doon sa na-discuss natin kanina. Again, si Matsuo Basho ay kilala sa what? Sa haiku. Okay? Ayan. So, also, kilala din siya sa tawag na Japan's most famous poet. At siya ang father of haiku, Matsuo Basho. Oh my gosh. Wait for a minute. Naglalag.
Si Brandon po yung sabi.
Feeling ko di siya po. Kasi, ayan. So, next one. ay si Natsume Soseki. Si Natsume Soseki naman, given the information is here, a renowned novelist of the Meiji period. Ayan. Wag nang pansinin yung number na yan. Typo lang yan. So he wrote the novels such as I Am a Cat and Kokoro. Tandaan lang yan mga contribution nila. Next one, si Akutagawa Ryunosuke. Ito kilalang kilala din to si Akutagawa Ryunosuke. Kung mapapansin ninyo, may marami akong sinasabi dun sa mga kilalang author. Kasi usually ito yung mga nadidiscuss sa ating mga English majors eh. Baka mamukha to pagdating nyo ng exam, ay magulat na lang kayo, may ba't may ganitong pangalan dito? Kaya yun, dinidiscuss ko sa inyo yung mga kilalang authors pagdating sa literature ng Japan. So, again, makikisulat. Si Akutagawa Ryunosuke ay kilala sa tawag na Father of Japanese Short Stories. Known as the Father of Japanese Short Stories. O, di ba sa si Edgar Allan Poe, father of the detective stories, horror stories, di ba? Pero ito si Ryunosuke Akutagawa naman ay Japanese short stories. Next one, known for his works Rashomon and In a Grove which explores human psychology and morality. I just uttered yung mga lang, mahahalaga about them. Number five, for number five, ayan, si Tanizaki Junichiro, ayan. A modern Japanese writer known for the Makioka sisters and some prepared natos. So yan, his works reflects Japan's transition from the traditional to modern culture. Yun naman yung kanyang usual na ginagawa. It reflects yung mga tradisyon ng mga Japanese before at the same time yung culture na meron sila nung modern period. Next, Japanese poetry. Ayan, let's start defining the Japanese poetry. Ayan, ang pinakang another na sikat pagdating sa poetry ng Japan. Yung tinatawag natin na tanka. So sa tanka, I have here an example. Basically, ang tanka ay medyo mas mahaba kumpara sa haiku. Kasi ang tanka is 31 syllable poems at traditionally meron siyang 577 syllable structure. Ito meron tayong example dyan. Medyo malabo lang yung example dito. Kasi maraming nakalagay sa internet na mali eh. Pero kung babasahin mo ito, tama to sa 57577. Unlike dun sa makikita nyo sa internet na mali. Ayan. So, yeah. Next one ay yung haiku. Hindi ko na siya binasa kasi alam kong na-discuss ko na to sa Philippine literature ninyo. And of course, I don't want to repeat it again because as we know, alam nyo na naman yan. Haiku, haiku shorter version of tanka ito. Kung yung tanka, meron siyang 57577. Ang haiku naman ay consisting of 3 lines with a 575 syllable patterns. Ayan. Open focuses on the nature and seasons. Usually, itong haiku, ginagamitan ito ng tema tungkol sa mga natures. Kunyari, nature season, ganyan. Kunyari, gagawa about ocean, weather, rain, forest, yung mga ganyan about haiku. Yun yung usually na tema sa paggagawa nila ng haiku. Meron din tayong example rather, na binigay here. Now, let's further discuss yung famous Japanese poets naman. Ayan, si Kino Tsurayuki, Matsubashi Yosabuzon, Kobayashi Iza. Japanese drama. This is basically the continuation. Ayan. The play for the masses. It's less intellectual and more realistic, even seasonal. Kabuki plays are descriptive and may focus on historical events, life and works of Japanese and authors. Yan yun. Ano ba to? Ba't nandito? Baka na ano lang yan. Kanina pa yun. Kadugsong na yun na. Next one, yung famous Japanese authors. Ayan. Ito na, si Murasaki Shikibu, kanina na-discuss na rin natin. Let's, elaborate kung ano yung mga na i-contribute niya at kung sino talaga siya. Ayan, si Murasaki Shikibu is a representative author of the classical Japanese literature. Considered the world's first novel by many, yun yung The Tale of Genji, depicts the court's life during the Heian period, noong 794 to 1185 in detail. Okay? So, her works are key examples of classical Japanese aesthetic styles and literary virtuously. Meron siyang mga notable works din. So, ano ba yung mga notable works na yun? The Tale of Genji, tsaka yung The Diary of the Lady Murasaki. Si Matsuo Basho, ayan, paulit-ulit na tayo para hindi niyo makalimutan because according to my friend before, mas nag-focus daw ang left sa Japanese literature. Kaya hindi natin to pwedeng is pagsawalang bahala. Medyo mahaba-haba ang discussion dito for Japanese lit. Ayan, Matsuo Basho, paulit-ulit tayo, no? Is a master of haiku poem from the Edo period, a classic within Japanese poetry. He is praised for encapsulating the natural environment, as I've discussed a while ago, and ordinary scenes in minimalist form. Medyo minimalist lang, maganda, more on nature. His notable works are The Narrow Road to the Deep North and then Account of Exposure to the Fields. Next one, si Natsume Soseki. Si Natsume Soseki naman is, one of the most iconic authors, okay, of the Japanese literature from Meiji period noong 1862 to 1922. Not only that, no, his satires and tales the ordinary people captures the spirits of the Meiji period, a time of great turbulence and rapid changes towards yung modernization. And then, ang common themes ni Natsume Suzuki. Kasi ito si Matsuo Basho, common theme niya sa pagsulat ng haiku, di ba, more on nature. Pero ito, si Natsume Soseki naman, ang common themes na ginagamit niya is, about conflict between duty and desire. Conflict between duty and desire, personal enlightenment, and rapid industrialization. Yun yung mga usual na ginagamit niya. Notable works niya, I Am a Cat and Botchan, tsaka yung Kokoro. I Am a Cat, Botchan, at Kokoro. Next one. Ayan, si Akutagawa Ryunosuke, a representative of neorealism in the mid-1910s. Akutagawa often reinterprets classical works with modern sensibility. So, Akutagawa Ryunosuke, called the father of Japanese stories, as we defined a while ago. Akutagawa Ryunosuke is one of the foremost writers of the Taisho era. Ayan. And many of his works, class, explored the formation of cultural identity. Ano? Ano nga ulit? Kung si Natsume, ang major themes na ginagamit niya is, conflict between duty and desire and whatsoever. Ito naman si Akutagawa, ang ina-explore naman niya ay formation of cultural identity and universality of literature. Yung notable works naman niya, ayan, nakalagay naman dyan, Rashomon and the Nose Hell Screen. Next, Tanizaki Jorinichiro. Si Tanizaki Jorinichiro is one of the most major author of modern Japanese literature. He was prominent rather as writer of neo-romanticism in Japanese literature. His works include yung tales about love. Iba't iba sila ng atake, no? Kung mapapansin mo, merong about nature, meron about identity, at iba-iba pa, meron ding about industrialization, tsaka universality of literature. Well, ito naman yung special about Jurichiro. So, yung kanyang works ay usually dinidiscuss niya yung mga love, sexuality, ayan. Tsaka yung destructive erotic obsession. Ganyan ang kanyang attack. His stories are often set within the context of juxtaposing Western and Japanese tradition. Ayan, nilagay na rin natin yung notable works niya na Yomi, ayan, the Kyoka Sisters in Paradise of Shadows. Next, Japanese poetry. Parang naulit. Tanka. Haiku. Naulit lang to. Famous Japanese poet. Ayan. It's actually a summary lang ha. Ayan. Kiyuzuraki. Ayan. Ayan. Shape of Aid of Emperor Daigo assembled one of the largest anthologies of Japanese poetry. Ono Komachi. Early Tanka poet. Discuss muna natin. Si Yurayuki. Ayan. Si Yurayuki naman, class, si Ki Yurayuki ay chief aide ng Emperor Daigo. So, inassemble niya, of course, sabi nga natin kanina, yung largest anthologies. Pero si Ono Komachi naman, early Tanka poem, whose poems are characterized by passion and energy. Ayan, passion and energy naman kay Komachi. Priest Jakurin naman ay Buddhist priest and prominent Tanka poet whose poems are filled with beautiful yet melancholy imagery. Ayan, pag sinabing melancholy, it's a pensive sadness. Okay? Imagery, so it gives something, an image sa ating sa ating writing, sa ating pag-iisip. No? So, praise Jakurin, filled with beautiful yet melancholy, a pensive sadness image. Matsuo Basho, okay na yan, tama na yan. Si Yoza Buzon, okay na rin yan. Ay, ay, di pala, si Yoza Buzon. Si Yoza Buzon ay regarded siya as second greatest Japanese haiku poet. Kasi ang primary talaga ay si Matsuo Basho. So, ang pumangalawa sa kanya ay si Yoza Buzon. Okay? Si Yoza Buzon. Next. Si Kobayashi Iza. So, si Kobayashi Iza naman is, considered to be one of the same level as Buzon. Ayan. Kasi 'di ba, ano siya parang may mga pattern lang Meron silang sinusundan. Ayan, ito naman same level daw siya kay Buzon after his death. Yan, wrote haikus that reflect appreciation for the hardship faced by the common people. Again, sinong una? Si Matsuo Basho. Pangalawa, si Buzon. Pangatlo na same level ni Buzon ay
Si
hmm,
Kabuyashi is
okay, very good. Si Kobayashi.
Kobayashi.
Ayan. So, yan. Tanka is the most prevalent verse from the traditional Japanese literature and haiku is focusing on images from nature. Yan, tama naman talaga. Lagi naman nature pagdating sa haiku. Haiku emphasizes class yung simplicity, intensity, and directness of expression. Okay? Both haiku and tanka poems use vivid imagery, language that appeals to our senses na usually makikita natin sa ating kapaligiran. Okay, so we have suggested piece here, yung The Tale of Genji or Genji Monogatari, written in the 11th century CE by Murasaki Shikibu, a court lady is Japan's oldest novel and possibly the first novel in the world literature na nabanggit ko na kanina. The classic Prince Genji and is noted for its rich characterization, vivid description of the life in the Japanese imperial court. The work famously reproduces the line sadness of things over 1,000 times and has been tremendously influential on the Japanese literature and thinking ever since it was written. The tale of Genji continues to be retranslated into modern Japanese. Ayan. So, alam naman natin na um, medyo medyo siguro nahihirapan silang intindihin yung sulat before. Kaya, ayan. Medyo nag-translate sila, i-translate nila ito into modern one para mas maraming makaintindi at mas maraming makaalam ng novel na yan. Modern Japanese on a regular basis so that its grip on the nation's imagination shows no signs of loosening. Next one, summary. The Madman on the Roof by Hiroshiki Kikuchi. The Tale of Genji. Actually, nilagay ko na rin dito yung summary, no? Para hindi na kayo maghahanap pa. So, a father named Gizuke was concerned about his 24-year-old son, Yoshitaro, who climbs on the roof to watch the sunset. One day, Gizuke tried to make his son climb down off the roof, but no matter how hard Gizuke tried, his son wouldn't climb down. So, he ordered Kichigi, that their servant, to get Yoshitaro off the roof. Kichigi went outside to get a ladder. Tozaku, their neighbor, entered the house and noticed what was happening. He recognized that it was Yoshitaro again on the roof and recommend a holy woman who could cure Yoshitaro. The holy woman came to the house and said that Yoshitaro was possessed by an evil spirit. As they were in the healing procedure, Sujiro entered and rescued his brother Yoshitaro. Suijiro depended and reasoned out his brother's condition with their parents, telling them that Yoshitaro was not possessed by an evil spirit, but rather had a serious condition. Their parents understood and accept the truth about their elder son, Yoshitaro. In the end, the brotherly love prevails and makes the family unite and compromise. So, ang ganda ng story, ano? Ayan, so tingnan natin, i-analyze natin. Pinaglalagay ko na rin dyan yung mga analysis. Ayan, for your review purposes. Ayan, si Katsuyama Yoshitaro, the madman, 24 years old. Ayan. So, check natin kung ano yung interesting about this story. So, yung place na to, it's the place where the communication takes place. We're from a small island in inland sea. At naganap ito noong time daw ay 1900. So, tema. Ano kayang tema? No. So, the themes of the story, The Madman on the Roof, could be perception in life and sanity and nature. When we say sanity, ano ba sa Tagalog ang sanity? Parang ano, no? Yung bumalik sa dati mong pag-iisip. No? Bumalik sa dati mong pag-iisip. Parang yung ano yung story ni, ano, ay yung the story, yung sa Night, nakakalimutan ko yun. Yung na-discuss ko last time, si Sancho Panza pa nga yung alalay niya. Tapos, iya, natatandaan yung about Pisan. Tapos yun, nawalan siya ng sa tamang pag-iisip. And then after that, ayun, pinagtatawanan siya ng ibang tao. I forgot the title. Hindi pwedeng hindi ko siya maalala. Search ko. Panza. Ay, hindi ko siya pwedeng hindi maalala. Naku, may... Ayan. Ayan, Don Quixote. Si Don Quixote, yan. Dun sa storya na yun, nawalan siya ng parang sa tamang pag-iisip. Kaya yun, lumamak siya ng ibang tao. Kasi parang tingin niya kasi he's a knight. Parang savior ng princess, ganyan, savior ng kanilang lugar. Tapos sinama pa niya si Sancho Panza bilang alalay. Pero yun, dito sa storya na to, meron din sanity. Kung mapapansin niyo, di ba? Bakit nga ba siya pupunta sa roof? Di ba? Parang ewan lang. So, yeah. Next one. Ano ba yung moral lesson na malalaman natin dito? Well, the moral lesson in this story is not to be ashamed of your own kind. Okay? Not to be ashamed on your own kind, especially if it does not harm any of your neighbors. In addition, be thankful for what you have and for who you are. Cherish the people who are there to love you and the people who do not mind what others may say. It's the moral lesson, excuse me, of the story. Next, In a Grove by Akutagawa Ryunosuke. Ito naman, tagal natin sa Japanese, no? Talagang kailangan natin yan. Yung plot, pag-usapan natin. Introduction. Tajumaro meets Kanazawa no Takihiko and Masago. Racing action. Tajumaru tries up Kanazawa no Takihiko in the bamboo grove. Ayan. Tajumaru leads Masago into the bamboo grove. Tajumaru rapes Masago. Ayan. Climax. Kanazawa no Takehiko dies. Repelling action. Tajumaro pleased with the horse bow and the arrows. Conclusion. The main characters give their testimonies. Grabe naman yung nangyari dito. Merong rape na nangyari. Ayan. So, yung characters natin, ayan, nakalagay na naman dyan. Next, Korean literature tayo. So, sa Korean literature, ayan, meron silang hanja na tinatawag. This refers to the Chinese characters used in the Korean writing system. Example, yung hack. Hack, this character means study or learning. Again, yung hack na tinatawag nila, this means study or learning. Yung ja naman na tinatawag nila, this means letter or character. Tapos yung han, this means word, yeah, this character is part of the word Hanguk, which means Korea. Hanguk, Korea. May alam ba sa lengguwahe ng Korea? Kamsahamnida. Ayan. Annyeonghaseyo. Yan. Pati Korea kailangan din pag-aralan. Indigenous writing system naman. These systems were used to represent the Korean language in written form by the 7th century. A system called Idu had been devised that allowed Koreans to make raw transliterations of Chinese characters. Eventually, these characters were used for their phonetic value to represent Korean particles of speech and inflectional endings. A more extended system of transcription and called Yangkal, followed by shortly thereafter in which entire sentences Korean could be written in Chinese. Another system, ayan, kung mapapansin, laging merong influence ang Chinese pagdating sa writing system. Traditional forms and genre, pag-usapan natin. So, dito, sa Korean, nagpo-pose ito into three categories sila. No, meron silang early transitions, tsaka Hangul, tsaka Chinese. Four major traditional poetic forms naman nila ay, Yanga, native songs ang ibig sabihin niya. All these poetic forms transcribed in the Yangkal system from the middle period of the Silla dynasty to the current. And then yung Polgok naman, special songs ang tawag dyan. Again, yung Polgok ay special songs ang ibig sabihin yan. And then yung Changga naman, ang tawag dyan ay long poems. Changga long poems. Yan, it flourishes. Ayan. Ay, ito pala. Add natin dito sa native song sa Yanga. Usually, yung mga poets here were either Buddhist monks or members of Warangdong. Dito naman sa Polgok naman, tsaka or Changga, long poem special songs. Ayan. Ang meron naman dito ay flourish during the middle and late Koryo period. It's characterized by refrain either in the middle or at the end of each stanza. The theme of the most anonymous poem is love, joy, torments, which are expressed in frank and powerful language. Ayan. The poems were sung to music, sabi nga, di ba, special songs, saka poems. So basically, these poems were sung to music, accompaniments, by Jizam and Jinyo. Next one, Sijo or Siho, current melodies naman to. Ibang meron dito. Yeah. It typically captures moments of personal emotion. It's more on personal naman itong melodies na to. And contemplation. Nature beauty, ayan, sunset, and elegance man. Unrhymed Korean verses ito. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabing unrhymed, hindi siya what?
Kaka-
Magkakaray, magkakatunog. Okay? So, hindi siya magkakaray. Ayan. Meron siyang 3 lines, 14 to 16 syllables. Next one, yung kasa. So sa kasa naman, the kasa developed at about the same time as the siho or sijo. The writers were usually young man. It is known for its expressive language. Ayan, verses ha, ang ibig sabihin niyan sa kanila. It is also known for having an expressive language, rich imagery, ano pa ba, and emotional depth. And to concern itself with moral extinction, instruction, travel accounts, banishment, and the writer's personal misfortune. Ayan, basta ang tandaan lang dyan sa part na yan ay known for its expressive language, yung verses. Okay, malapit na as matapos. Itutuloy ko ang discussion next. Early Korean literature was heavily influenced by Buddhism, Shamanism, and Confucianism. I know some of you are familiar with Buddhism and Confucianism since we've discussed this last time. Pero ano naman yung Shamanism? So dito sa Shamanism, it is a practice class that involves a practitioner reaching altered states of consciousness in order to perceive and interact with the
Spirits.
yeah. Mm-mm. Interact with what they believe to be a spirit. No, world and channel this transcends and energies into the world. So meron silang tinatawag na shaman, a person regarded as having access to and influence in the world of good and evil spirits. So more on what? Ano meron sa kanila? Nakapag-interact sila at naniniwala sila to be a spirit, ha?
Very sources.
Mm. May mga spirits of the world. Practitioner reaching altered states of consciousness in order to perceive and interact with what they believe as spirit. Next one. In the 4th century CE, the Korean peninsula was politically divided into 3 kingdoms. Given naman ang ating 3 kingdoms. Yung Baekje, hindi ko alam ang pronunciation dyan, check nyo na lang. Baekje sila, Goguryeo, and then Goguryeo again, was later known as the Goryeo, from which modern Korea is derived. Ayan. Yung prose sa kanila, class A. Korean prose literature can be divided into narrative, fiction, and literary miscellany. Narrative fictions and literary miscellany. Narratives. So, ano ba yung mga narratives kanila? Usually, it includes myths, legends, folktales found in the written records. Pag sinabing narrative, well, mahaba ito, tama? The most important myths are those concerning the sun and the moon, the founding of the Korea by Tangun, and the lives in the ancient kingdoms. The folktales naman, kung yung legends naman nila at folktales ay nakikita dun sa written records nila, tapos yung mga myths nila, it's about yung sun and the moon and whatsoever. Yung kanila namang folktales ay nag-include ng stories about animals. Animals, or goblin. Ayan. Kaya mapapansin nyo, may mga movies sila na may
Yes.
goblin, di ba? And other supernatural beings. Yan ang kanilang mga folktales. The Goblin, napanood ba yun? Char. So, Korean fiction can be classified in various ways. Maraming mga, first, there is fiction written in Chinese and that written in Korean. There are short works in 1 volume, medium works of about 10 volumes, and long works of more than 10 volumes naman. Yomo Shinhao, New Stories from the Mount Gyomo by Kim Sizyo. Suzyap, ayan. The first known for classical work of Korean fiction. It was written in Chinese characters. Itong ano na to. Gyomo, siguro. Shinhwa. Ayan. New Stories from the Mount of Gyomo. It was written by Chinese characters. Oral literature naman, of course. Oral literature includes all the texts that were orally transmitted from generation to generation. Alam mo natin pagka oral tradition, usually hindi ito nakasulat. Kumbaga, sinabi lang ito, ikinuwento, no, mula nung unang panahon hanggang naipagpasa-pasa na. Kaya nga sabi nila yung oral tradition parang ano siya, hindi siya masyado authentic. Kasi dagdag bawas na eh, di ba? These oral transmitted texts are characterized as ballads and classified according to the singer, male and female, subject matter, and regional singing times. Legends naman sa kanila include all those folk stories handed down orally, again, not recorded in any of the written records. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina na, ayan, medyo nakwento nga, tapos hindi naisulat. The final type of the folk literature is found in the text of the Pansori of the Yi Dynasty. Pansori of the Yi Dynasty. Doon nakasulat, ano, yung mga folk literature nila. Kita doon. Korean Dynasty naman natin, ay si Goryeo Dynasty or Koryo, established in 918 by Emperor Taijo Wangjeon, the founding father. Ayan, so Goryeo was later known as the Goryeo from which the modern name Korea is derived. Ayun, doon galing. No? Doon galing yun na modern name ng Korea. Goryeo. Ayan. Or Joryo. Goryeo is derived from Goguryeo, which changed its name to Goryeo during the reign of the King Jansu of the Goryeo in 5th century. Next, Hashi poems in Chinese. Chart, yeah. So, a new form of the poetry called Shijo developed towards the end of Goryeo dynasty. Shinju gained acceptance as poetry to be read and contemplated, usually in the form of a song. Short, three-line poem. Ito, three-line poem lang ito. Yung Shanxi poems ng Chinese cartoon. The late Joseon period naman. So, tingnan natin yung mga meron dito. Modern literature, ano bang meron dito? The first period of the modern Korean literature was often called Enlightenment. The UC formation of the modern paper says many biographical works were published in the late Joseon periods where the main characters were often depicted as a hero. So usually dito sa Joseon period na to, yung mga storya ay merong biographical, no, biographical touch tungkol sa, pag sabing bio means life, kumbaga tungkol sa buhay ng isang tao. At not only that, minsan nagdidepict din ito o nagpapakita ng mga heroes, heroic deeds, something like that. Pilgrims of Progress or Chono Jeong, ayan, by John Bunyan, the first printed work of fiction. Modern literature, the modern literature movement was launched by Chow Nam-sun and Yi Kwang-zu in 1900. Heartless. Okay, so yeah, next meeting we will discuss the literature from Vietnam. And ano pa yung natitira? Vietnam and
I get number
Indonesia. Dalawa na lang para meron pa tayong matira. Okay, so any question, clarification, Angela? Okay, so if none, thank you so much for listening and please do review. And yeah, I hope na nag-take note ka ng mga information about this presentation because yeah, some of the information here will be included on your examinations.